Hello. Today we are going to go over the study guide answers for chapter 7. Numbers 1 and 2, we are to write the word sentence as an equation. So remember, sum means addition. So we're finding the sum of the number k and 5, so k plus 5. Remember that word is means equals 11. Number 2, 7 times a number x would look like this. A number next to a letter means multiplication. Is means equals 42. We don't have to solve, we're just writing it as an equation. Numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6, we are solving and checking. You'll have to do both on the test. Number 3 says x minus 72. To get x by itself, you're going to do the inverse and add 72 to both sides. Show your cancellation and solve on the right. We should get 208, and then we need to check it. We just said that this x is 208, so we're going to substitute it back in 208. We're going to subtract 72. And we get 136, so it checks out. Number 4 says g plus 1/4. I'm going to do the inverse to get g by itself, so I'm going to subtract 1/4 from both sides, leaving me with g. Remember, when you're adding or subtracting fractions, we need a common denominator. The bottom number needs to be the same. 12 would be our common denominator. 3, 6, 9, 12, 4, 8, 12. They have a 12 in common. To get from 3 to 12, we multiply by 4, so I do the same to the top. And to get from 4 to 12, I multiply by 3, so we do the same to the top. Now I've got a common denominator and I can subtract. 8 twelfths minus 3 twelfths would be 5 twelfths. Now we're going to substitute 5 twelfths back in for g to make sure it makes sense. 5 twelfths plus 1/4. Again, common denominator would be 12. To get from 4 to 12, we multiply by 3. We don't have to do the top one because it's already at a 12. 5 twelfths plus 3 twelfths would be 8 twelfths. That looks a little bit different than 2/3. However, if we simplify, we would get 2/3, so it does check out. Okay, let's look at number 5. A number next to a letter says multiplication, so 14 times some number is 84. The inverse of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide both sides by 14 to get x by itself. 14 divided by 14 is 1x, and then we can divide 84 divided by 14, which is 6. (84) divided by 14 is 6, because 14 times 6 is 84. Okay, now I kind of already did it. I put 6 back in for x, which is right here. 14 times 6 is 84. It checks out. And number 6, c divided by 7. Remember that fraction bar is the same as a division bar. C divided by 7 is 5. The inverse of dividing by 7 is multiplying both sides by 7. So we get c by itself, and 5 times 7 is 35. And then we're going to check it. We're going to put 35 back in for c. 35 divided by 7 is 5. It does check out. Okay, starting with 7 and 8. 7 says, is the ordered pair a solution? Is it an answer to the equation? Show substitution to justify your answer. So guys, this ordered pair over to the right, remember your first number is always your x, your second number is always your y. So what we're going to do is substitute x and y into the equation. So it says y is 5, x is 1, a number next to a letter means multiplication. So you're substituting the ordered pair in for x and y, and you're solving. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Does 5 equal 5? Yes. So that ordered pair does justify our answer. It does make sense. It is a solution. Okay? If this wouldn't have been the same, we would have just said no. Let's look at 8. Is the given value a solution to the equation? Show substitution to justify your answer. We're going to substitute in 4 for x. 4 plus 16 is 20. Does 20 equal 20? And again, the answer is yes again. Okay, page 2. We are writing and graphing an equation in 2 variables, which means I need an x and a y, that shows the relationship between songs and cost. Number of songs is our x, the cost is our y. Okay, that tells you down here, this is our x, which is the number of songs when we go to graph it in a moment, and our y is cost. Okay, if you look at the bottom of the chart, it says it is $2 per song. So if I have one song, again, it is $2 per song. So the cost is $2. If I have 2 songs, $2 per song, that would be $4. 3 songs would be $6. 4 songs, $8. 5 songs, $10. $2 per song. Okay, so now you should be thinking to get the cost, y equals $2 per song. So our equation would be y equals 2x. 2 times the number of songs equals our cost. Okay, or you could write 2x equals y if you wanted to as well. Okay, either of those will work. Okay, let's get this stuff on our graph. Again, we've already labeled numbers of song and cost, and you will need to do that the day of the test as well. I've got 5 songs, so my chart needs to go to at least 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The cost went up to $10. I don't think I won't have enough lines to go by 1, so I'm going to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And then we're going to plot our ordered pairs. For 1 song, $2. 2 songs, $4. 3 songs, $6. 4 songs, $8. 5 songs, $10. And it should form a straight line because it's going up $2 per song. Okay, lots of different points for number 9. You need to get all of these correct. I need to see the equation. I need to see labels on your graph. I need to see numbers on your graph, and then plotting all of the ordered pairs from our table. Okay. Number 10 says students and faculty raised $6,042 for band uniforms. The faculty raised $1,780. Write and solve an equation you can use to find the amount A raised by students. Okay, so I know that the students and the faculty raised that much money. Okay, we're not sure how much the students raised, but the faculty raised $1,780. So 1,780, let me write it the other way. The students, we're not sure how much they raised, but the faculty raised $1,780. All together, they raised $6,042. Okay, there's my equation. Now we are to write and solve. So now we're going to solve to figure out how much the students raised. So instead of adding, we're going to do the inverse operation and subtract 1,780 from both sides to figure out how much the students raised. So it looks like the students raised 4,262. And then let's go ahead and make sure that makes sense. The students raised 4,262. It told us that the faculty raised 1,780. Let's see if that is 6,042 altogether. It is. It makes sense. 11 and 12, write the word sentence as an inequality. Remember, inequalities, we're talking about less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. A number B times 3.5, we're going to write it like this, is no less than 21, meaning greater than or equal to 21. No less than 21, meaning 21 or more. We do not have to solve, we're just writing. 12, quotient. Remember, quotient means division. The quotient of y and 9 is greater than 4. Or you could write y divided by 9 is greater than 4. Tell whether the given value is a solution. Is it an answer? Be sure to show substitution. Okay, we're going to substitute in 11 for v. We know that a number next to a letter means multiplication. So we need to do 11 times 1.4. Make sure to move that decimal once. So we get 15.4 is greater than 16. Is 15 greater than 16? No, it would be less than. So we just write no there. Number 14, we're substituting in 14.1 for t. 14.1 plus 9.8 is greater than or equal to 21.01. Let's line up the decimals when we add or subtract decimals. So we get 23.9. 23.9, is that greater than or equal to 21.01? Yes, 23 is greater than 21. So yes. Okay, page 2 or page 3. Graph the inequality on a number line. X is less than 4. Okay, I'm gonna have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Less than 4. I should have an open circle on 4, and it's pointing to the left. All the numbers less than 4. Number 16, y is greater than or equal to -3. Greater than or equal to, which means a closed circle on -3, because it could be -3. And this arrow is pointing to the right, all the numbers that are greater or bigger than -3. The next section wants us to solve the inequality and then graph the solution. Remember, to solve any equation or inequality, we're using the inverse operation. So if it says n minus 9, we're doing the inverse and adding 9. So n is greater than or equal to 11, which is what we're graphing. I'm not going to get to 11 on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to start at 5. All right, greater than or equal to is a closed circle. It could be 11, pointing to the right. All numbers greater than 11. Good. Number 18, a number next to a letter means multiplication, so the inverse would be division. So we have W is less than 8. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Less than 8, that would be an open circle pointing to the left. Number 19, that says n divided by 3. The inverse would be multiply both sides by 3. So n is greater than 18. Greater than would be an open circle pointing to the right. And 20x plus 14, the inverse would be subtracting 14 from both sides. 9 take away 14. Those are different signs. You're going to find the difference, which is 5. There's more negative. So x is less than or equal to a negative 5. Less than or equal to. That's a closed circle pointing to the left. Okay, so solving using the inverse operation and graphing. Remember, less than or greater than, open circles, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, closed circles. 21, we're going to write the word sentence as an inequality, then solve. A number q divided by 14 is no less than, meaning more than, or equal to, no less than 4, meaning it could be 4 or greater than. So greater than or equal to 4. It says q divided by 14, so I'm going to do the inverse and multiply both sides by 14 to get q by itself. So q is greater than or equal to 56. And then on the final page, we've got some word problems and review. A wheelbarrow can carry up to 300 pounds, no more than that, up to 300 pounds, so less than or equal to 300 pounds, no more. A bag of soil weighs 20 pounds. Write and solve an inequality to represent the number of bags of soil the wheelbarrow can carry. So it's 20 pounds per bag. So 20 times how many bags would be less than or equal to 300 pounds. So we're going to do the inverse and divide both sides by 20. So the wheelbarrow can hold up to 15 bags. No more than. 3 friends decide to share the cost to rent an apartment. The apartments they are considering cost at least $1,200 a month, meaning greater than or equal to $1,200. At least. We're going to write and solve an inequality to represent each person's share of the rental cost. So if it's at least $1,200, you kind of have to think in reverse on this one. We're sharing the cost with 3 friends, so I want to do 1,200 divided by 3. So if I want to divide by 3, I'm going to set up a multiplication equation so I can do the inverse, which is division. So 3 times some amount. 3 people are sharing the cost. How much would each person pay? So now we're going to divide by 3. 1,200 divided by 3 people. So each person has to pay at least $400. Okay. And then the fair game review. We've got 2 review problems. Remember, when you're multiplying or dividing with mixed numbers, you have to change them into improper fractions first. So 18, 19, 20 thirds. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 halves. And then remember the rule for dividing fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal, or keep it, switch it, flip it. Okay. Diagonally, 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 24 times, so we can simplify first. And then multiply straight across to get our numbers smaller. You may not leave it as an improper. 8 thirds goes in twice, which is 6, with 2 left over, so 2 and 2 thirds. And then evaluate the expression. Evaluate, just a fancy word for solve, right? This is order of operations. So remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally PEMDAS. Parentheses first, there are none. Exponents, we do have some exponents. 8 to the second power means 8 times 8. It does not mean 8 times 2. 8 times 8 is 64. Bring everything else down, one step at a time. Multiply and divide come next, left to right. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Multiplication and division, left to right. So I still need to multiply. 10 times 5 is 50. Addition, subtraction come last, left to right. 64 minus 50 would be 14. Okay. Alrighty. Please let me know if you have any questions.